Thanks for joining us here on Indivisible. I'm your host, John Stubbins. Glad to have you with us again tonight, folks. I've got a great guest on my show, Bob Antonellis. He's running against Elizabeth Warren in the state of Massachusetts. So if you're in Massachusetts, you're definitely going to want to tune in. A lot of great information, including Trump card and more information about the Supreme Court on this case, and even digging into 2000 Mules, going back a little bit on that. So it's going to be a fantastic show. I want to give a shout out to Set Apart Farms, one of our many partners. And also, please go to johnstubbins.com, where you can help with American Anarchy and also the First Hour for Men. Make sure that you get a copy by going to thefirsthour.com, and we'll send it to your door. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Remember, folks, this is a show where we put God, family, and country first, and we will always tell you the truth. We'll be right back. By now, you've all heard me talk about Mike and his great products. Well, guess what? Mike's now introduced his MyPillow My Slippers, which are fantastic. Great on my feet, soft as can be. I love them. Mike's taken over 2 years to develop these slippers. He's designed them to wear indoor or outdoor all day, all night long. Made with MyPillow foam and impact gel to help prevent fatigue. Made with quality leather suede. For a limited time, Mike is offering 40% off his new My Slippers. The My Slippers are so comfortable, you're going to want to get them for the whole family. Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code Indivisible. You'll also get deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream bed sheets, the MyPillow mattress topper, and MyPillow towel sets. Or call 1-800-716-4639 and enter Indivisible as your promo code.
Hunter Nation is the ultimate we the people in the conservation community, holding our elected employees accountable to the hunting, fishing, trapping, freedom lifestyle that has brought wildlife back to the healthiest and most thriving condition in our lifetime. HunterNation.org is the epicenter for freedom and wildlife conservation in America. I am Hunter Nation.
The Isaac Law Firm, protecting men in family court.
Great show tonight, folks. I've got Bob Antonellis, who's running against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts, and I'm going to bring Bob onto the show. Bob, I'm sure you've got a lot to say, so we're going to get right to it. But I know here in we're going to split this up into 2 segments tonight. And by the way, folks, I'm going to be scrolling Bob's information, as I always do, at the bottom of the screen. That includes his website and his social media, so that you can reach out to Bob. Bob, I want to do a quick intro, to a new view on a proper role for the federal government. Obviously, not attacking us on 9/11, ramming through these wars that we do not want or need, stealing our freedoms with the Patriot Act or the TSA. It's not to concoct new ways to die. Obviously, Obamacare added 100,000 or more to that list.
That's right.
Maybe it's 100 million. Who knows? These are just some of the problems I know you have on your list to fix. Obviously, we're in a satanic war. It's definitely a war of good versus evil, and I know you want to highlight on that. And I know that also you want to make sure that Kamala Harris never, ever
Ever.
becomes president. So
Never,
take it
ever.
away, brother. We're listening.
All right, John. Yeah, I wanted to talk to your listeners about something that I revealed to the CPAC Dallas, July 2021, to great fanfare. And it's called the Trump card. And the acronym TIDNY is what we're using, Trump in Day. And so the Trump in days, not years. And the plan got an incredible bounce out of CPAC. At that point, the plan was a 7-point constitutional cure. So speaking of the responsibilities, the founders gave the House and the Senate the obligation and the power to oversee the Electoral College. So when people say, oh, the founders weren't all that smart because they didn't build in a provision for a recount, they didn't build in a provision to resubmit the ballots from one state or the other. Well, no, I think they were just ahead of the curve, because why would you trust a state to resubmit the ballots when they were proven to have gotten it wrong the first time? No, they have a much better methodology built into the Constitution, which means it's there. It's right there. So when I came out with this, was July 2021, got a lot of fanfare at CPAC Dallas, because they were trying to attack Trump and all the people that were attending. And that's why I got so many hundreds of news articles that got triggered first by two of them by Daily Mail. So it was really a big deal. And what I have discovered is that the founding fathers were in love with the parliamentary system, whereby in England, the ministers of parliament, any one of them can become the prime minister, really at a moment's notice. If something changes in the world, something changes in the country, something changes with the actions or the words or whatever of the prime minister, things can change immediately, as it did with Winston Churchill after the war. Our founders liked that idea a lot, and they built something akin to it as a second backup to the Electoral College. See, the Electoral College is the executive branch. So when it comes to co-equality, the founders wanted and gave the legislature that same power, which is to investigate, impeach, and instate a replacement president and vice president. And I'll explain how that works. But Nancy Pelosi at the time was the speaker, and the plan was 7-point plan. And we'll talk about Nancy Pelosi's reaction to my plan a little bit later. But at the heart of it is that the speaker is in the third position. And people think, oh, that's only because if the president and vice president are on a plane and they both die at the same time, then the speaker will become president, and the odds of that happening just like virtually zero, because they're not allowed to travel together, etc. But that's not the only reason it's in the third position. It's in the third position because the Electoral College is in the first position, president and vice president. And the body, which is the legislature, is in position 2. So when the election is shown to have been stolen, as is done from your friend Dinesh and True the Vote with 2,000 Mules, so beautifully, it basically enables, empowers the legislature to finally begin to start to do their constitutional duty, which is oversight of the Electoral College. It's not a job for the Supreme Court. It's not a job for the state legislatures. It's a job for the House and the Senate. So, and the way it would be, the co-equality between the House and the Senate is that the House picks the president, as you know, because that's the speaker, with Senate approval. The Senate chooses the vice president with House approval. So that is how the founders built in that power into the legislature the power to instate a president and a vice president in place of the one that the Electoral College had chosen. So this was, is that making sense?
Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the other part of it is Nancy Pelosi knows who you are, right? After this,
That's right. She does.
knows you by name, obviously. Obviously, Elizabeth Warren knows who you are because you're running against her. Now, the Daily Mail that had the article, I was reading it, they said that this is a far-fetched idea. And I remember when this first came out, I was at CPAC, and a lot of people were talking about it as a really great, thoughtful possibility. Okay, and people got. I remember people getting excited about it, and now there's a lot of people out there, like I said, even in this Daily Mail article, they're saying that it's a far-fetched idea. Why is it that they believe that it's so far-fetched?
Well, I think it's because it truly puts the power into the hands of the people.
Yeah.
And
well, that makes sense, right? They don't want that.
No. And see, I was just thinking about this a little while ago. They invest so much, and and a lot of people know how much they invest into election racketeering. And so the way this vote would work, think about, it's everything Democrats hate about an election. It would be videotaped. Okay, if there were a vote, okay, the impeachment rules are there. Okay,
we've got to take a quick commercial break.
Okay,
we'll be right back. Keep that thought. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Here's to the overlooked, the overworked, the underappreciated. Here's to the fighters to preserve our freedom, our liberty, our rights, our faith. Here's to the workers, the farmers, the first responders, and those who serve so bravely in our military. Here's to Americans who proudly hold tight to our values: God, privacy, freedom of speech, life, and liberty. Here's to the patriots who love this country and everything it stands for, who should never be canceled for believing in America and the blessings of liberty. Finally, there's a bank for you, Old Glory Bank, named after the flag that represents the fabric of this great country and the people of Old Glory Nation, the engine of America. Now you have a bank that values your values. Now you have a bank that stands with you, no matter where you stand. Old Glory Bank. We stand with you.
Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Indivisible with John Stubbins is proud to support my friends Jim and Angela Holland and Set Apart Farms.
Faith-led and family-driven, we're doing things a better way for veterans and their families. For all the ways to get involved, go to setapartfarms.org.
And we're back with Bob Antonellis, who's running for Senate against Elizabeth Warren. Go ahead and pick up that thought, Bob.
Yeah, it's everything the Democrats hate about an election.
Sure.
No dead, if the vote were on the House floor, and the idea would be that so I don't want Donald Trump as speaker. I don't. I want him to step through the speaker for an hour.
Of course.
You make a speech, and do do an action, mainly take up the completed articles of impeachment, which would be done by, say, Mike Johnson, and have somebody like Matt Gaetz say, I nominate Donald Trump to be the speaker with the articles of impeachment in hand. So then for a very short while, Donald Trump will be the speaker. He could then hold up that vote. and there will be a floor vote. So the point of the matter is, the vote, there will be no mail-in ballots. There'd be no absentee voting. There would be, videotape. There'd be voter ID because everybody that's going to be voting in the House is known. Okay, so it's everything they hate about clean elections, and it's like the last place in the world where we could actually tomorrow have a clean election. And then the idea would be that after the 2000, you see the part that I haven't talked about is the 2000 Mules proof positive in the 3-minute video. See, that's what's beautiful. The 90-minute video is awesome, but people don't have the time to watch it. But the 3-minute video will be something that can be used to convince any person, any naysayer that, oh yeah, okay, there was election racketeering. In other words, if somebody like Matt Gaetz says, all he has to do to stop playing the Trump card is to say, I'm going to invite in Dinesh D'Souza and Catherine and Mr. Phillips, I think is his name, from True the Vote, and get people to start to understand. See, because Fox News didn't want the name 2000 Mules mentioned because they were so petrified, I think, that people would actually start to use it. It's extremely significant as a seminal moment because then no one can actually state there's no proof of election racketeering. So it's prima facie. The video is itself the proof. So that would mean that there would be a big lot, and these are bodies. They're not stone. The organizations, the Senate and the House. These are bodies. People influence them. We've seen that. Right, they're humans. So the House, I think, would have a major supermajority win for Donald. Let's just say Donald Trump is chosen, and doesn't have to be Donald Trump though. So that's what's very interesting. This is legislative congressional responsibility, and if there were someone different, well, then that is always a possibility. I sincerely believe that Donald Trump will be the one chosen because the video proves he actually won. So America doesn't like a loser, a thief. They like, making it right. So this would put Trump into the position where he would get a supermajority in his vote, and then he would walk it on foot to the Senate, give it to the Sergeant of Arms, as far as I understand, and then the Senate would have a vote, and then, how many after 2000 Mules comes out, and America starts to acknowledge, oh my God, the theft was incredible. So then we can start looking at the media because these people have been absolutely lying. And now we can start talking about election racketeering, treason, and genuine punishments, right? And so if it wins in the Senate, then now is when you need John Roberts for just about 5 minutes. And the Bible that Donald Trump has from his mother or his grandmother would come out, and then he'd be the president. He'd be the 45th president because there would be no signature from Joe Biden as president or Kamala Harris as vice president.
Right.
And then here's the part I like best. When he gets back to you take a black beast. Is that right? Is that what's called, the beast? Take it back to the White House, and there'd be an inauguration gift on his desk in the Oval Office. Do you know what that is? An open Supreme Court seat, because the woman who doesn't know what a woman is,
right?
She wouldn't be the Supreme Court. She wouldn't be on the Supreme Court anymore because it would be nullified.
Yeah, she's got to go.
Exactly, she's got to go, and this would stop Kamala Harris. We can't sit here look how close it is. If he has a slip and fall, how close is Joe Biden to a slip and fall? When you fall at that age, you could bang your head, and he could be completely out of the picture, and they can say, okay, folks, we got to do it. And then, so we got to move. In other words, we can't just sit there and do nothing. We got to move on this.
Yeah, it's like every 45 seconds, the guy can bang his head, right? I mean, seriously, it's not bad. And I'm not exaggerating.
No, you're right.
And like you said, it seems like the Supreme Court knew this as well, and remained quiet about it, right? 2000 Mules, it's really interesting because they're friends of mine, obviously, and I I'm proud that we talked about it, had them on the show. And I've had Dinesh on the show since then on police state as well. So I get it. I get it. I went out to Arizona. I went to the pit. I'm very aware of what's going on here with this. And it has to be dealt with. We cannot allow for our government to be seized by treason. And I again, I'm going to say high treason.
Yeah,
we're at the point of high treason.
The highest form of
treason. What's that?
It's the highest form.
Oh, the highest form. And we've known that, and we've been spouting that for quite a while now, and in terms of years. So it's not getting by us, but we need more of the American people to understand what's going on. So I'm glad that you're laying this out. Is there anything else you want to discuss on that? We've got a couple minutes left.
Okay, Nancy Pelosi took notice. Okay, so
yeah,
it was July the 9th, 2021. I got 2 Daily Mail articles. I got hundreds of mentions, and most said, they never said it was impossible. They said it's highly unlikely. It's never been done before, unprecedented, but they never said it was impossible. But so Nancy Pelosi, I can promise you, was freaking out, and that the whole Democrat caucus was freaking out, because 10 days later, on July the 19th, she allowed the second, the congressman from Pennsylvania, it was actually the 2nd district of Pennsylvania, it was in northern Philadelphia, to introduce a change to the House rules, which would have made the House more like the good old boys club in England, where you have to be a minister of parliament to become the prime minister. You would have to be a congressman seated to become the Speaker of the House. It would have been unconstitutional, but it would have stopped the Trump card, because it would have required a trip to the Supreme Court. And then you're in the hands of John Roberts. But so she backed off. And here's what I'll finish with this one thought, if you're wrapping up, that my website, I made it quickly in February, actually, for CPAC in Orlando. And it was called trumpindays.com. And I made it from Word, and I did hyperlinks, and I made a quick PDF, and then you can post your PDF as to become your website. What Daily Mail did is they took the whole PDF website, stuck it into the article, and it went all over the world. And in it, Nancy Pelosi had noticed the words I had said.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy's got a Jonestown problem. It's the Black Caucus. And
I saw that.
I'd love to talk to you about that sometime.
Yeah, well, Nancy obviously fears you, right?
Yeah, yes.
So I'm glad that you decided to run for office. By the way, folks, Bob Antonellis, again, running against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts for the U.S. Senate. Go to his website below, Bob for Senate, MA, which stands for Massachusetts.com. Social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bob for Senate, MA. Thanks for joining us, Bob. Really enjoyed it, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
We'll have you back. God bless you.
Okay, great. Thanks.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, folks.
Hunter Nation is the ultimate we the people in the conservation community, holding our elected employees accountable to the hunting, fishing, trapping, freedom lifestyle that has brought wildlife back to the healthiest and most thriving condition in our lifetime. HunterNation.org is the epicenter for freedom and wildlife conservation in America. I am Hunter Nation.
Here's to the overlooked, the overworked, the underappreciated. Here's to the fighters to preserve our freedom, our liberty, our rights, our faith. Here's to the workers, the farmers, the first responders, and those who serve so bravely in our military. Here's to Americans who proudly hold tight to our values: God, privacy, freedom of speech, life, and liberty. Here's to the patriots who love this country and everything it stands for, who should never be canceled for believing in America and the blessings of liberty. Finally, there's a bank for you, Old Glory Bank, named after the flag that represents the fabric of this great country and the people of Old Glory Nation, the engine of America. Now you have a bank that values your values. Now you have a bank that stands with you, no matter where you stand. Old Glory Bank. We stand with you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're back, folks. Fantastic show tonight with Bob Antonellis, again, running for Senate against Elizabeth Warren in the great state of Massachusetts. Hope you've been following. Again, at the bottom of the screen, our website is johnstubbins.com. You can get information about the show, our events, our documentary. We've got some big announcements coming up. I can't wait to give those to you, obviously. You can also go to mypillow.com and use the promo code Indivisible. You can do that online or by phone. If you do it by phone, call 1-800-716-4639 and give them the promo code Indivisible, and you'll get huge discounts on pillows, blankets, towels, slippers, all kinds of great merchandise at mypillow.com. Also, folks, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We want to tell you that all the time, because without you, we don't have a show. So God bless you for being a part of everything that we do. We look forward to seeing you next week. God bless you. God bless your families, and God bless America.
Fans up in this house tonight. Well, here's a burning thing, and it's made of fiery rain. Well, bound, sir, I feel into real fire. Y'all let me sing it. Fell into the burning fire. Down, and the flames went out, and it burn, ring of fire, ring of fire. Y'all sing it till the fire. Let me hear it. Sing it. Your taste was sweet, and hearts like our feet. I feel for you like a child. Oh, and about a while. Here we go. And fell into the burning of fire. Went down, and the flames went high. And it burn, ring of fire, ring of fire. Play the guitar, son. This is our country. Do not forget who you are. Do not forget what your DNA is as an American. Do not forget it for one damn second. We stand on the shoulders of greats, and we're the next great set of shoulders. Can I get a hell yeah out of this crowd one time? Here's some Charlie Daniels. People say I'm no good, crazy as a loon. I get up in the morning and get down in the afternoon. Kinda like my old blue chick hound, I like a dead round in a shade. And I ain't got no money, but a damn sure body's big. And I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, say just here comes it last and you're still stuck behind your mask and I'm offended. You're offended, yeah, let's all get offended tonight. I'll order us a beer, we can sit down right here, screaming, yelling, cussing, fussing, fine. Passing out $100 bills and the kills and the thrill, like a horns on my Silverado grill. High by the bar, triple around the crowd, everybody's getting down in that town. It ain't never gonna be the same, y'all see it. I started up the road, riding through the city. I made a lot of niggas, all the girls down to the track, riding up and down the way. I was stepping up, and the girls said, say oh, it's right down the road. Say oh, it's right down the road. If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause our flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.